Hi guys, today you're going to use all the different types of lines that we learned about to create art in the style of Kandinsky, to create rhythm. So you're going to use every type of line at least once, and you're going to cut those types of lines out of construction paper and scrapbook paper and use wire. Like you can see wire here. You're going to make three-dimensional lines. So if I look at the art from the side, you can see that the art stands up. Here's another example right here. And you can see how the art has two-dimensional lines, but if I turn it sideways, it has three-dimensional lines made out of wire and out of scrapbook paper and construction paper that stand up. So we're gonna make this, and I'm gonna show you how. Okay guys, so to get started, you're gonna use the list that you made about lines. So the different types of lines, when we made this list, you're going to use this list, and you're going to create each of these types of lines using either construction paper. So you're going to have construction paper at your table, or everyone can get up to 3 pieces of scrapbook paper. And I know 3 pieces sounds like not a lot, but really this is a lot of paper for what we're using. And you'll also be able to use wire. So, oh, that's really hard to see, but this is a piece of wire in my hand. And really you don't need more than like 3 pieces of wire. So this piece of wire right here is, when I stretch it out, it's about 1 foot long. You don't need more than that. That's a lot of wire actually. You probably won't even need that much. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut your pieces of construction paper to make the different types of lines. So if I want an arch line, for instance, I'm gonna cut it to make it look arched. And you don't have to make it the full length. You can make it whatever length you want. So I have this. Now, is this an arch line? Everyone probably said yes, and the answer is no. This is not an arch line. This is a shape, right? To make it an arch line, I've got to cut the other side of it to make it a thick line, or I can do it thinner to make it a thin line. But it has to actually be a line. So you're going to have to cut on both sides of it to make it a line, no matter what line you're doing. So if you're making a zigzag line, you have to cut on both sides of it to make it that type of line. So now I've created an arched line because it's cut on both sides. Okay, so clean up after yourself as you go. It makes it a lot easier, makes life easier. Okay, so I've kind of done that ahead of time. So you're gonna cut out your pieces, and then after you have your pieces cut out, or as you're cutting them out, you can arrange them. I've cut out a zigzag line. Here's a long, skinny line. Another long, thin line. A thick line. You're gonna make an arrangement on your paper. And notice I'm only gluing down right now. I'm not gluing down actually, I'm just kind of arranging them. How I want them to go. So first you want to kind of arrange them and have a wavy line. So after you get them arranged how you want them, then the next step is you're going to glue them down. I have another arch line. And everything doesn't have to be connected to the edges. I just happen to be doing that. So I have these two just chilling like that. Short, thin lines. Here's a thick line, a couple thick lines. I need a broken line. Where can my broken line go? Maybe it's just going through the middle of the page. I don't know, wherever, okay? So once I get my design, my base design, however I like it, okay, then I'm gonna glue it down. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so now I have them all glued down. I'm gonna turn it this way so you can see it better in the camera. And then you're gonna check for flyaways. So this is coming up a little bit, so I'm gonna glue that down better. Guys, you wanna really make sure that all your pieces are glued down really, really, really good. If you can pick them up at all. Ooh, I picked up that and the whole thing came up. You wanna make sure they're really glued down, because time will only make these glued the glue weaker, right? So we want to make sure it's glued down super good, especially on the edges. Okay, so when we have that done, I want you to bring it to me and show me so I think it's full enough, and make sure you have all the pieces. And again, I want to review one more thing to you, that when you're cutting, this does not, I'll turn it over so you can see better. This does not make a wavy line. This is the opposite of a wavy line, because remember, both sides of it has to be wavy. If one side's straight, it's not a wavy line. You have to cut both sides, have to be wavy. Same with a zigzag line. So for instance, this is not a zigzag line because both sides of the line have to be zigzag. This is not a wavy line. Both sides have to be wavy. You can make this. I could easily make this by cutting the opposite side is zigzag, but you have to actually do that in order to make it that way. Okay, so then the next step is I'm going to make some 3D. So after you get this approved, it might be day 2. Most likely it'll be day 2. It's okay to work on gluing these down still on day 2. And then day 2, we're going to be still working on this, and we're going to start making some 3D shapes. Curly lines are easier to make day 2. So I could take one of these, I can curl it. I can make curls that are 3-dimensional that way, or I can make them that are 3-dimensional this way. I can do things like make roller coasters like this with my paper. In fact, I'm probably gonna make a little roller coaster. I like these little roller coaster rides. So to make a roller coaster, I need to put glue on the end. I need to put glue after the first hump of the roller coaster. In fact, I'm gonna make my roller coaster shorter because that's a really long roller coaster ride, and I wanna save some of that paper for another 3-dimensional. So I'm gonna put it at the ends, both ends, and the middle. Okay, and that's it. I don't want it anywhere else but both ends and the middle. So I have 3 spots I put glue. So I put the 2 sides down first, and after I have the 2 sides down, I'll move it just a little bit so it's not touching that. I didn't want it to line up with that. And then I push the middle down. Now I have a little, hold that down for a second. Okay, now I have a little roller coaster. So it goes vroom, vroom. My little roller coaster ride right there. Okay, so then I have a wavy line. That's 3-dimensional. Okay, the wire is really fun to make curly lines with. It's kind of hard to see on the screen, but I can take a pencil and I can wrap the wire around the pencil like this, and then I could pull the pencil, I'll go the other way, pull the pencil off, and then I have a curly wire like this that I can put down on my paper. So like that, and I can do that. Now to attach wires is a little bit tricky. I'm gonna have masking tape at your table, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna poke a hole with the wire through the paper on each side. You're also gonna have wire cutters at your table. So if you have extra wire, you just nip it, and it doesn't even cut, it just like literally just kind of nips it, bites it off. Okay, and so I'm gonna make a little hole on each side. Should have got a bright colored wire so it would stand out, but sorry. And then on the back side, you're just gonna fold it down, fold the wire down. Hope you guys can see that. And then put a piece of tape to keep the wire in place. So I'm gonna go get tape and show you. Okay, so when you have your wires folded down like that, you can just put the tape over the wires to keep them down and keep them in place. And then you have your wire, curly wire, or however you want your wires to be, 3-dimensional on top. And you can kind of spread them out. You don't want to take away the curl though, but you can kind of spread it out a little bit and make it look a little bit more like you like it. Okay, I have all different colors of wire. I'm trying to stick with a purple theme on mine, but here's a lighter color purple. I could just do an arch with this one, do the same thing, poke it through the back of my paper, just make an arch like a rainbow for arch line, and then do the same thing on the back. Just fold it down on each side like that, fold it down, and then I'd put another piece of tape over it like that, right? You need at least 5 raised lines. They can be wire and paper, so you can do both, a combination of wire and paper. Another idea for a curly raised line is with paper, just literally twist the paper, curl it, and you could glue down both sides, hold them for a few minutes so you have a good curled line that way. I could do that one over here. That'd be really cute right there, like that. Okay, so be creative with it. Make sure for your grade you have all the lines, all 12 different types of lines once, and then you create a mood by adding more types of lines, whatever types of lines you want to create your mood with. Use those lines more than once, okay? So happy creating, and make a beautiful Kandinsky artwork. Bye.